You don't notice when it starts, not the first order, not the first rule. It starts when you stop correcting the system. At 6:13, the door closes behind you. Not loud, just enough pressure to tell you, you're inside now. Level 1. Intake Guard. 6:13. The corridor is narrow. Not physically, but it feels like it was designed for something slightly smaller than you. Hold for verification. You hold. 3 scans pass over your body: face, heat, density. Your uniform is gray, synthetic. Static clings to your arms. Your weapon is issued, unloaded. That matters. At this level, you don't carry force. You carry permission. Processing Corridor A. Crates arrive. Personnel pass. Sealed containers move through your checkpoint with documentation attached. You don't inspect the object. You inspect the paperwork. That's intentional. Rule 1. Do not interpret contents without clearance. Rule 2. If observation conflicts with documentation, trust documentation. 8:47. A container arrives. Logged weight, 38 kilograms. Measured, 41.2. You pause. Your supervisor doesn't look at the crate. He looks at you. Log what is written. You do. The discrepancy remains uncorrected. You learn something small. Accuracy isn't required. Consistency is. By the end of your shift, you stop reading for meaning. You read for alignment. The system doesn't need understanding. It needs stability. 1902. You leave, but the feeling doesn't. It follows you, like you forgot to take something off. At level 1, you still think this is a job. It isn't.
Level 2, Corridor Officer. The order appears. Minimal text, transit authorization, route locked. Window, 6 minutes. Your gear changes, armor reinforced, weapon loaded. Still safe, but ready. Corridors aren't static anymore. They're timed, measured, controlled paths. You move a researcher through Sector B. He talks. Too much. You stop processing his words halfway through. Information isn't harmless here. It accumulates. Rule 1. No unscheduled conversation. Rule 2. Ignore anomalous statements unless confirmed. Junction C4. He stops. Do you hear that? You don't, or you choose not to. Same result. You keep moving. Grip his arm. He resists. For 1.3 seconds, then follows. 2:16. Transfer complete. Within window. Debrief. Any auditory interference? You answer, negative. That answer protects the route, not the truth. At level 2, you start filtering your own perception. Because the system doesn't reward accuracy, it rewards clean reports, and clean reports require less of you. Level 3, Escort Specialist, 2309. Access expands. Retinal scan added. Dual authorization doors. 5-second unlock windows. No delay allowed. Your helmet seals. Audio filtered. External noise reduced. Internal noise not removed. You escort a sealed container. Mass 82 kilograms. It hums. Not audible. Tactile. You feel it through your gloves. Midway through Corridor 9. Temperature drops. 3 degrees. Unlogged. You keep moving. Rule 1. Do not stop during transit. Rule 2. Do not respond to auditory anomalies. You hear your name. Behind you, clear, familiar, you don't turn. That's the test, not survival. Compliance. 2314. Transfer complete. Debrief. Did the subject attempt communication? You answer, negative. Your hesitation is logged, not your answer. At level 3, the system starts removing parts of you, not directly. Just the parts that interfere. You don't notice which parts are gone, only that things feel easier. Level 4, Breach Responder, 412. The alarm begins. Low frequency, continuous. It changes how you breathe. You move in under 30 seconds. No briefing, only sector designation. Sector D, partial breach. The corridor is wrong, not broken, just misaligned. Distances compress. Sound arrives late. You adjust. Rule 1. Maintain forward orientation. Rule 2. Do not trust depth perception. Lab D6. Containment door cycling at 20%. Something presses from inside, not visible. Only pressure. A researcher is trapped behind glass. Pounding. Begging. Command prioritizes seal. You execute. Door locks. Pressure stabilizes. The pounding continues. For a few seconds, then stops. That delay matters. At level 4, you learn the equation containment over people. You apply it. That night, you don't sleep, not fully, because the sound repeats, rhythmic, controlled, like knocking, and it doesn't stop when you wake up. Level 5, Tactical Sergeant 732. You review footage, helmet cams, incident logs, behavior reports, your badge changes, silver band. You manage 9 personnel. You don't evaluate skill, you evaluate reaction. Rule 1, hesitation is failure. Rule 2, emotion must not alter formation. A recruit breaks formation, 0.8 seconds. Nothing happens, but something almost did. You reassign him. Lower risk sector. He asks for reconsideration. You deny. Not personal, arithmetic. At this level, people become variables. Your reports define outcomes, stable under pressure, compromised under distortion. Language becomes consequence. At home, your routines degrade. Sleep fragments, meals shorten. Silence increases. The system doesn't take your time. It edits your behavior until your behavior matches the system. Level 6, Security Captain, 1941. You inherit systems, not tasks. 46 personnel, multiple sectors, ongoing risk chains. You stop seeing incidents, you see sequences. Cause, response, containment, report. A technician attempts data theft. Unauthorized, you contain the individual. Erase the breach window. Stabilize narrative. No escalation. That is success. At this level, morality becomes logistical. You don't decide what's right, you decide what holds, and what breaks gets removed. Level 7, Division Chief 0326. You stop carrying weapons, you carry authorization. Rooms go quiet when you enter, not respect. Awareness, you reduce information flow, deliberately. Rule 1, knowledge increases breach probability. Rule 2, limit understanding. Patterns emerge. The more people know, the less controllable outcomes become. So you limit knowledge. At this level, you understand the system. It doesn't protect reality. It filters it. And now, you help decide what's allowed to exist. Level 8, Site Custodian 502. The facility is quiet between cycles. You don't react anymore. You observe minor inconsistencies, timing deviations, unreported fluctuations, nothing critical. Rule 1, detect patterns early. Rule 2, adjust silently. You think in probability now, not events. And that's the final loss. Not fear, not empathy, surprise. Final loop, 613, processing corridor, logs a new intake. Gray uniform, unloaded weapon, white clearance band. He stands on the threshold line, still waiting. You watch through internal systems, not curiosity, pattern recognition. You already know what he becomes because the system doesn't train people. It refines them, reduces them, aligns them until they fit perfectly, and the door closes behind him softly, exactly the same way it did for you. Level 9, Oversight Director. You don't have an office anymore. You have a presence. 3 facilities route through you. Not just this one. No uniform, no rank marker. Just a name on documents most personnel will never have clearance to read. Rule 1. The system must not be visible to function. Rule 2. Those who see it clearly must be repositioned. A site custodian files an observation. 0.4 second fluctuation. Sector D, 6 weeks of silent monitoring. You don't reassign him. You expand his clearance. Because someone who watched an anomaly for 6 weeks without reporting it understands the system. 815. Each facility has the same corridors, same lighting, same ventilation frequency. You used to think that was efficiency. Now you understand its continuity. Consistent space produces consistent people. Consistent people produce predictable outcomes. Predictable outcomes keep the system intact. You help design the intake corridor of Facility 3. Narrow, not physically, just enough to feel slightly smaller than the person walking through it. You know what that does. You chose it deliberately. 1422. A researcher files a reassignment appeal. Formal, detailed. He's right. The demotion was unjust. You don't correct it. Correcting it introduces doubt. Doubt destabilizes performance. Destabilized performance raises breach probability. 1 career against a 6% variance. The math isn't difficult. You file it under review pending. You don't feel something missing when you do it. Not guilt, not relief, nothing. And the nothing doesn't frighten you anymore. At level 9, you don't mourn what the system costs. You account for it. Level 10, Foundational Authority. No timestamp. Time is a management tool. At this level, you don't need to be managed. Your authorization exists above the name structure, unnamed, unquestioned, because questions require a recipient. And there is no one above you to ask. The logs show nothing unusual today. That is your work. Not the absence of events, but the absence of visible events. A containment subject has shown new behavioral patterns, possibly communicative. The recommendation reached you in 11 words. Reclassification pending. Awaiting foundational review. You close the file. Return it with a single notation. Continue observation. No protocol change. That notation holds for as long as you choose. Because at this level, a decision delayed is a reality preserved. 319. You think about the intake corridors sometimes. Not often, not with feeling. Just sometimes. The narrowness, the gray uniform, the unloaded weapon, the details are gone. Filed somewhere the system is long since restricted access to. But something like the feeling remains. Small, occasional. Like a 0.4-second fluctuation on a 72-hour cycle, below alert threshold. You don't report it. You apply the rules to yourself now, automatically, without deciding to. 613. 3 facilities log new intakes, simultaneously. 3 gray uniforms, 3 unloaded weapons, 3 doors, closing softly. You don't see 3 people. You see the beginning of 3 sequences, already written, not by you specifically, by the logic of the system, which you now are. There was no moment you became this, no decision, no line crossed, just refinement, reduction, alignment, until the person who stood on that threshold, wondering what was in the crate, became the system that decided he didn't need to know. The door closes, not loud, just enough pressure to tell you you were always inside.